Late last night, we received a new complaint in the Ursuline lawsuit. With this new information, there are a lot of moving parts to consider. So Attorney Brian Kopp is joining us now to understand the new information. Attorney Kopp, this amended complaint goes back decades and includes new defendants across various states. How much does that matter or complicate things?
Well, obviously, the more parties in a case, the broader discovery gets, the more details that are looked at over time. So from what I can gather, the court ordered this amended complaint to get the parties in so we're not repetitive in discovery.
Okay. Now, we know that there was a legal deadline to get the new complaint filed before midnight last night. What happens next, and what would be the next steps in terms of the clock ticking for the next round of information that needs to be filed?
You know, courts set deadlines and amend deadlines once cases start, and usually there's an order put on early in a process where the court will say you have this long or this amount of time to amend your complaint to add newly discovered parties. It does not preclude maybe future amendments, but for right now, there must have been some information that the parties in the court were aware of, and they want to do this to get the case moving. So an amended complaint just restates allegations, may add or remove parties, add or remove claims, and then like typical process, the defendants will answer that amended complaint.
Now, we know that there is also a criminal investigation underway. Is that likely to expand now too, or has the statute of limitations run out on some of those oldest accusations?
You know, it's really hard because criminal investigations are somewhat confidential in nature. You know, we can speculate just because something's in a civil complaint or somebody says there's an ongoing criminal violation. You only need a good faith basis to make those allegations. Only law enforcement and the parties being interviewed know the extent of what's being looked at right now.
What are some of the most serious allegations that are made in this new complaint that we're talking about now?
Well, I think anytime you have minors involved, you know, school systems, those in positions of trust with minors, they have an obligation to take affirmative steps to protect them from known or potential problems. So, I mean, I know it's very simplistic, but in the modern legal system, the failure to act or intervene by schools or churches or dioceses or, you know, organizations that have youth under their supervisory powers have an obligation to act to protect them.
Okay, how damaging can this be for Ursuline and the diocese? Could this suit be a wide-ranging issue where it bankrupts the entire school? You
know, damages are always difficult to calculate, especially early in litigation. You know, we've seen horrific allegations in school systems in the past. If you followed the news lately, there was a large verdict over a teacher that was shot by a student. Those are all unique, but each one of these cases have a different component to it. I don't know what the actual allegations are by the individuals that are in the complaint or what kind of medical history or you know, psychiatric issues they have. All those things go in. But it seems to be somewhat pervasive, according to the complaint, over a period of years. Do I think it's catastrophic at this point? I can't say that it is because I haven't seen enough information.
All right, Attorney Brian Kopp, thank you so much for joining us here on 21 News at 5, as always.